Positive energy all the time. I don't know how long I'm going to talk on this, but I got to get it off my chest. We got Greensboro, North Carolina in the building. I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and Facebook. Much love from Chicago. Come on in. Let us know where you're from. I just want to get a little something off my chest. This might be quick. Salute to my brother Quayla, represent Indianapolis, Naptown all the time. We got Norfolk in the building. Rep your city, rep your city. We got the great city of New York, an amazing city for sure, no doubt. New York is like going to another planet. It's amazing. I talked to some of my friends. They was like trying to compare to Chicago, New York. I'm like, Chicago's a beautiful city. Don't get me wrong. But you can't compare New York to Chicago. They're in two different worlds. If it was some type of contest, New York would not be in the same contest Chicago was in. And I don't think nobody would be, there's no city in America would be in the contest with New York. It's just way different. It's way different. It's something else. If you want to make some money, you need to go to New York for about a week. You'll be different when you get back home. It's way different. It really is. It's tripped out, man. When I say tripped out, it's really tripped out. You know, because we just think it's like a city, but it's different. But the brothers and sisters is cool, though. The brothers and sisters is cool. I like New Yorkers. They cool. I don't know why they be trying to give them a bad rap. It's wild, but you know, there's areas that's wild, but that's to be expected. You got to know how to move when you get into wild areas. There's a certain movement that keeps you out of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like magic. I can't explain it. People that live in a big city, they might can explain it. It's a certain thing you do to cut your losses. Something could still happen, but it's the way you move and you avoid robberies and stuff like that. It's hard to explain. I don't know what we do, but it's something we do naturally to miss the nonsense. The main thing in a big city like New York, Chicago, like that, where they got crime, is your alertness. What's going on, Milo? It's your alertness. You know, the criminals don't really like or approach you if you're really alert. If you're really alert, it's almost like you're the same people. Like if it's a criminal and I'm really alert, not just big cities, small cities is different because small cities is spread out. So you're not even bunched up in the first place. So small cities is different. It's nobody there. It's not really bunched up. So that's a whole different way of moving. Now, small cities is got its own way too. It's different. Small cities are different than big cities. Not in terms of robberies and stuff, but how the robberies happen. They happen, it's different. It's different. As Atlanta started going from like medium size and growing towards large, they all, it began to change some. They was having some problems transitioning into a bigger city. It was small cities a little bit different. It's not a whole lot of people, and it's a little different. Dangerous. Houston is a big city. They're all dangerous. It's just a different type. It's just a different way that the danger approaches you. It doesn't come the same way. It's different. It's uh, a different approach. In the smaller cities. And when the small cities really start growing and start getting a lot of immigrants and stuff like Birmingham is a mess because it's growing. And now they got projects and they really going through a transition from being, a southern city to this hybrid southern city. It's dangerous as hell in Birmingham. But the criminals in New York is definitely the grimiest. Period. Chicago don't got them type of criminals. We got some serious criminals, but New York, the criminals is super grimy. Super. Super grimy and super aggressive. For real. You better gotta be careful. Famous Richard found out. Famous Richard's up there. He just got shanked up. We got Louisville, Kentucky in the building. We got Houston in the building. Yeah, Famous Richard's up there locked up in New York. He just got poked in the neck and in the back. Yeah, he got poked in the neck and in the back. Up there in New York, man. You know what I'm saying? Up there playing. I don't know what make him think he could play up there. He'll be lucky to get out of there. So yeah, let some more people come in. We're gonna get started. I want to talk about this. It seems like everybody's competing with FBA. I tell you, I've never seen so many phony black men in my life. And once we start pushing for reparations and we formulated this idea of foundational Black America, all of these brothers that have been stagnant, ain't been doing nothing, ain't been talking about nothing. Now they philosophizing and got stuff to say only because we moving. Anybody could see it. There was no Pan-African nowhere saying nothing. Now all of a sudden we pushing for reparations. We pushing FBA lineage. Now here go the Pan-Africans. They wasn't saying nothing just 2-3 years ago. They wasn't panning and they wasn't African then. And phony as a $2 bill. Phony. The Native American ones too. Now they Native Americans. No, I don't watch that. I don't watch oppositions. I don't turn on something I don't agree with and watch it. That's another thing, Crown City. That's weird to me. That's weird for a brother to know I'm saying something over here they disagree with and they come and watch me. That's feminine. That's feminine to me. Why am I going to watch somebody I don't agree with them? What I'm watching them for? This is what I'm talking about, Crown City. This is the type of weirdo stuff going on. You know you don't like the idea of FBA, but you'll come on our channels and watch us. Rather than just go do what you're doing. That's it. Just go and do what you're doing. Why would I go watch them? When I already know they ain't talking about nothing. I don't go watch that for. Dr. Smalls is a goofy. Why would I watch him? Oh, let me go see what the goofy's talking about. I'm not watching, dude. He's washed up. Watch him for what? I don't, this internet, I don't get on like that. I don't get on like that. I don't go look at nobody and I already know I ain't gonna like what you say and I'm gonna go watch it. Since I've been over here, I diss some people I never go watch. I'll diss some people I never go watch them. I don't know what they said back. You know what I'm saying? Real gangster shit. I'll diss the hell out of you. You got to respond. They be making response and they be like this. They be watching me to see if I seem to respond. No, punk. I ain't hold your breath. You know what I'm saying? Hold your breath. What I'm going to talk to you for? We going this way. You want to go that way. It ain't nothing to talk about. Go where you going. Let us go where we going. The hell I want to talk to you for? Why I want to talk to opposition? If it's 50 brothers and you want to build an automobile, and there's 10 dudes say it's stupid, are you going to spend time with the 50 to build an automobile? Or are you going to go stand around with the 10 that's against the idea? Put it in the chat. If you got an idea and you want to do something great, and there's other people that do it with you, and then there's people that's against what you're doing, which ones are you going to hang around? The ones that is with it so you can get something done? Or are you going to stand around with the people that's saying you shouldn't do it? Because if you're chasing around the people say you couldn't do it, you're never going anywhere in life. You ain't going nowhere. My mods, if anybody come over here, they're not on subject or whatever, block them until tomorrow. Okay, block them. Anybody off subject, anybody trolling, anybody that's not building the chat and they just wanted to be seen, they just want to be goofies, get them out of here. Get them out of here. This ain't that. The circus is that way. The circus is some go, you know. This ain't the circus. This ain't the place. This ain't Bozo Circus. This is not the place for you. You got to go find somewhere else where the losers is at. That's what I'm trying to talk about. If I'm talking about something serious, I don't really deal with bozos, and I don't deal with that. I just want to deal with the energy I'm trying to put out. I don't deal with no opposition energy. I don't know. I ain't going to watch them. I ain't never watched Dr. Mayotte. I ain't never watched that. I ain't never watched them people. I ain't never watched none of them people like that. I've been around that stuff since I was a shorty. They don't be talking about nothing. Hey, on my soul, I was a little young revolutionary, right? So they had African Liberation Day event. So I went to the African Liberation Day event. I'm a young soldier. You said it's African liberation. I'm really believing you that you pushing African liberation. So the event go, and when the event ends, dudes say, okay, we see y'all next year, African Liberation Day next year. I'm thinking, oh, so you ain't trying to get liberated, right? Because if it's African Liberation Day and you're trying to get liberated, you hoping not to have African Liberation Day next year. You hoping to be liberated, right? This is how I was thinking as a young soldier, like 20. I'm thinking next year, also it's just gonna be African Liberation Days year after year, and there's still African Liberation Day. No liberation, just African Liberation Day. So if you're planning to go to African Liberation Day 2030, you ain't planning on getting liberated. I was like, next year, you know what I'm saying? Listen, nobody liked me because I was a real revolutionary. And they was all like, no, young brother, well, this is not for real. For real. They be talking about, we're going to rise up and all that. And I was real, yeah, we'll do them like this and do them like that. They like, no, whoa. Young brother, it's not real. Basically. I got kicked out of like all the revolutionary stuff. When I was like 20, 21, 22, they kicked me out of all the black revolutionary stuff. They kicked me out. Because I'm like, yeah, we need to do this to them. No, you can't. I say, I really ain't trying to. This is just a speech. Oh, man. So I've been discontent with. You ever been around a Pan-African? in 1978, and then he a Pan-African in 88, and he a Pan-African in 98, and he a Pan-African in 2008. He don't never Pan-African. You know what that looked like to a real G? I done seen you 40 years, you still talking about going back to Africa? You know what I'm saying? 40 years. 40 years. You still talking about going back to Africa. You ain't went yet? Boy, shut up talking to me. I can't do it. That way say, oh, you ain't got to go to Africa. You're a Pan-African. That's a perfect philosophy because you ain't never going. Punk. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never going nowhere. And if you ain't going to go to Africa, then you don't want no smoke with Big Pharaoh because I'm going, okay? I'm not going to do no fake smoke. So that's why I don't get in smoke because I'm going, okay? I don't do fake smoke, all right? Yeah, I don't do fake smoke. No, we're not going back and forth forever. Oh, this finna end early. So that's why I don't watch that stuff. That's why I don't be beefing. That's why I stay out of all that. I got PTSD and all that. I live in a messed up city. I live in a gangbang city that be about that action. Crash out capital of the world. So I can't. I'm trying to rehabilitate my mind. And I can't do threats, none of that. When the book come out, it'll make sense. I can't, you say the wrong thing, it's gonna go bad. I'm not really 67 years old, but that's gonna be in my book. I was just talking on the phone to somebody about that. And she was like, well, how old are you? I don't think I'm around 30 something. I think I'm around 30 something, I think. And so, yeah, everybody want to compete with FBA now. They ain't competed against the system. They haven't competed to get what they want to get accomplished. Look at all the blacks talking about they Native Americans and they ain't did nothing Native in America all these years. Bro, when you going to really be a Native American and go do something Native in America? All you do as a Native American is argue with brothers and say they're not Africans, but you don't actually do nothing Native American. You don't actually do nothing Native American. You say you're a Native American, but you don't move and shake. And that's not just with this conscious stuff, that's period. That's why we don't got gas stations. That's why we don't got businesses. Because we don't move on nothing. That's why I got to be dolo. I got to do everything dolo because if I want it done, I got to do it myself because sitting around with some brothers ain't nothing going to get done. Everybody Lou Rawls. If I woulda, coulda, shoulda, that's what folks always say. If I woulda, coulda, shoulda, but it's always too late. I can't do it. We won't get nothing done. Everything I do, I gotta go do it myself. Then I gotta hire people or it don't get done. I gotta do it myself. That's why we behind. My white brethren and stuff, when they say, let's do something, bop, 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 they have meetings, bop, 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 they knock it out. Nobody come to my, it might not work. Nobody come say, no, they don't do that. They just focus on how to get it done. Black brothers, they gonna try to show you how it ain't, what ain't gonna happen, and what if it can't happen, and a bunch of weirdo stuff. Who gonna be the boss? He know he ain't got no boss. He know he ain't no boss. He know he can't run. He don't want to run nothing, but he don't want you to run it. He can't run it, and he don't want you to run it. But he can't run it. ain't gonna run it. But he don't want you to run it. Why Pharaoh got to be ready? Yeah. All they want to know is why I got to run. I want to know why you can't run it. Well, why you go ahead and run it? Oh, he don't come to the next meeting. What if I built with my white brethren? Why would I tell you? It's business. I'm not telling you nothing. I don't even know you. Why you asking me personal stuff about my business and you just some weird dude on social media? I'm not telling you nothing, dude. This is business. I don't discuss my business over here. I'm not telling you nothing, but I don't discuss my other businesses on social media. For young people watching me, if you're on social media and you talking and you got a business, keep your business personal because they'll try to tie. Okay. They'll try to tie your conversations into your business, and your business is your business, and my conversations and my business is two different things. So I'm not gonna associate my business with my YouTube page. So that's why you get logos and stuff, and you just push the logo. You don't push yourself. You stay out the way. You don't push yourself. You stay out the way. But I'm not telling them nothing. You say, easy, Russell. Go raise your kids, bro. I'm a grown man. Raise your kid. It don't matter if they know where I live. If I told them where I live, they ain't coming. I can give them the address. They ain't coming. They ain't coming here. I could give them the address where I live. They not coming here. I don't know where they live at, but they ain't coming. They ain't coming to Chicago. Playing with me. Mm-mm. I could tell them where I live and go sit on the porch every day. They not coming here. This is a place where if you pull up, you better be really on it. You can't just pull up. You know what you got to do. But no, he said, what if my right brethren? Let me tell you something. I'm done. Let me tell you something. I have songs on television. Okay. I've worked with CBS, Showtime, stuff like that. Over your head. That's over your head. This is business, bro. We don't do color when we doing business. Listen, y'all. When you're doing business, you don't do color. You're trying to design a scooter, right? For a kid's scooter. You need the rubber tires. All you do is search the rubber tires. And whatever company got them rubber tires, you order them. Color, you don't do color in business. You do whatever product you're looking for. If you want to jar stuff up like this, you're trying to find these jars at the cheapest price, the best quality jars. You don't call them and ask who owned the company. All you want to know, do they got different jars in your side and what's the price compared to his jars? which one's got the best tops. This is how you do business. You don't do business based on race. You do business based on what you're trying to buy. For the other brothers and sisters, I take advantage of the people talking crazy and try to teach y'all something. So imagine somebody on YouTube asking me what white people did for me, but they on YouTube that's owned by whites. You see the low level of intelligence? I'm on StreamYard. They white. What is StreamYard doing for me? A lot. This is an iPhone. What is iPhone doing for me? A lot. This ain't no black phone. And the person that said that ain't got nothing black. Everything they got is white and Asian. The person that said, what my white brethren doing for me, everything they got, right? You understand? I didn't like your question because your question wasn't from heart. But this is what you do. You come back tomorrow. Just come back tomorrow. That's all. I don't got to talk to you at all. It's my channel. You're nobody. I'm finna explain that to you. Go back and watch it back. It all makes sense. To get reparations, you're going to have to sit down with white people and do business. You're going to have some diplomacy to get reparations. You ain't going to be able to get reparations just on no black shit. But if you think so, good luck. You're going to have some diplomacy to discuss the matter. Because the companies that owe you is white, and you got to talk to them. You understand? In terms of business is not don't have much to do with people. Business has something to do with products and services, basically. I mean, basically. So it's like a Pan-African would tell me, no, we got to be ourselves. But then when they go to Africa, who plane they going to get on? See, a lot of that shit phony. Because you don't make no planes. And like once you already behind in business, you got to deal with whoever's doing business to even get in business. So if blacks is not in a dominant position to provide the goods and services to get in business, then you're going to have to buy it from the people that already dominate those businesses to get in business. I mean, in the real world, I don't know about the fake world. We help the technology behind a lot of their industries, right? Helping the technology and being a boss and being in a position to control the fact you help is two different things, wouldn't you say? If you helped them with them industries, but they took it from you, how powerful are you? Because it's one thing to say, yeah, we helped them, but if they took it from you, now what? Because they took it from you. So now what you going to do? Because they took it from you. So if you're that big and black, how'd they take it from you? If you're that big and black and that united and that black, How did you help them with businesses that ain't got nothing in it? I think that's a legitimate question. If what you're saying is true, you helped them with them businesses, but now you nobody in them businesses. What happened? They punked you and took it, right? Okay. What that say about black people? What position do you hold in the world if they punked you and took businesses that you helped them and never had to recompensate you or nothing? And think about the fact you'll come and question me, but you won't question them on that. Because that's all they do, Crown. That's all the black man do. He question another black man and hold another black man to the fire and another. But when it comes to whites and everybody else, he punk out. Do business with some black men and see how they act when you go on internationals. They punk out. They become insecure and everything. The people could see it when they walk in there. They could smell the fear on them. They just run over them. If you're trying to start a business with some black brothers to compete with some white businesses, the black brothers you're trying to start the business with spend all their energy competing with you. Compete with the brothers that's trying to compete. That's just how you function. You see, the brother, he wanted to challenge me. He wanted to challenge me on my white business partner. But y'all didn't peep what he was on. He was showing you what's wrong with us. It had nothing to do with my white business partner. It had everything to do with him wanting to challenge me, another brother. That's all he was on, self-hate. But when you're a man of that my caliber, we kick him out the office. We kick him out. He got to go. You don't got what it takes. Because he didn't like me saying I got white brethren. But I can't do no business with his black ass. He over here with a fake name, ain't standing on nothing. I don't even know who that is. He might be a Russian himself. I can't even prove he black. You can see I'm black, but with all these funny names and pictures, I don't know who you are. The realest one over here is me, because I'm the only one you really know that's really me. The rest of y'all got little pictures. Who is y'all? Y'all not as real as me. I'm really my real face, really talking. You a circle with a name. I don't know if that's your real name, nothing. How you as real as me? I mean, no disrespect, but I'm the realest on this channel because I'm the only one you can see. I'm the only one exposed. A brother hiding trying to challenge me, but you hiding. Go get you a channel. And so now that we're trying to push something, we got all this competition, which is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Now that we're trying to push and we're trying to deal with lineage so we can get into the system and cut into the system, guess who our main enemy is? Professor Smalls. Now we're trying to get reparations from the white system. We're trying to make them identify us as foundational Black Americans against the system, because that's who owed the reparation. And the Black brothers is attacking us. What y'all think about that? We trying to get reparations from the powers that be. from all these insurance companies, Allstate and all these companies have been robbing us for years. Took all that money, didn't give us nothing, the cotton industry and all that. We try to identify ourselves as foundational Black Americans, the Blacks that been here, so we have a right to our wealth that we established that was stolen from us. You got this smart genius, Pharaoh El-Aton. He ain't standing on that. He's standing on some fake riding, pushing some fake Pan-African stuff that he never pushed, that he could never make happen, but only doing it to go against his brothers and sisters getting their reparations. Just look how I look. Just look. We getting to the point we want to identify ourselves as the people that been here. All of these brothers is geniuses, and they can't grab the concept of you identifying yourself as the people that been here since the country was founded. They want to say you're from Africa, but we trying to identify ourselves when the country was founded, and that's against the whites, and the whites ain't from here either. They came from Europe, but they're Americans now. They're not Europeans. They're white Americans. Now, whites can come here from Europe and be white Americans, but we can't come here and be Black Americans. We got to be Africans. They don't got to be Europeans, but we got to be Africans. Do you see any of the brothers screaming that whites should call themselves Europeans and they not Americans? Do you see that? Do you see Dr. Smalls telling whites they not Americans, they Europeans? Do you see Pharaoh El-Aton telling them, y'all not white, y'all Europeans? No. They going against their own brothers and sisters that's trying to get reparations and playing dumb like they don't know we trying to get reparations. All because their ego is hurt because nobody want to listen to that Marcus Garvey Pan-African bullshit. It's trash. Now we know it's trash. There's no such place as Africa. There's nobody in Africa call themselves Africans. And Pan-Africanism is washed. It was a concept made up before we had more knowledge. It was decent at that time before we had a certain amount of knowledge. We got too much knowledge now. Now we know they not Africans. They Ethiopian. They Nigerian. They delineated. The people they call Africans are delineated. They don't call themselves Africans. Delineation means to distinctly describe something. Everybody had their chance. The Moors had their chance, nothing. The Christians had their chance, nothing. The Nation of Islam had their chance. The Nation of Islam went out here Savior's Day and raised how much money all these years, and they ain't got nothing to show for nothing. So brothers from the Nation of Islam could just shut the hell hallway up, unless you could show us what y'all did with all that money that y'all collected from the Million Man March and from all them other big arenas where Farrakhan went with garbage cans collecting all that money. Unless the Nation of Islam can show us where any of that money benefited the Black community, they could shut the hell up. They could shut the whole hell up. Because it looked like embezzlement, fraud, and a ripoff. Looked like you robbed your own people. Anytime Black people went all the way to Washington and gave y'all all that money, and none of that money came back to help them at all, you was a scam artist. So they can shut the hell up. They can't let go of their ideology because that's how they panhandle it for money. But they can hold on to their ideology and get stomped in the ground with it, because I'm stomping the ideology. If you got the ideology in your arm and I'm stomping it in the ground, you would be smart to let it go before I stomp you in the ground with it. Look how many foundational Black Americans hate Sarah Seti right now, hate Professor Smalls right now. They picked the wrong side. They never gonna bounce back from that. They're done. Your boy Big Pharaoh's on the right side. I'm smart. I'm on the right side. I am smart. FBA is what's popping. They got a plan. It's something going on. This ideology is something we could really do. We could really get our own identity. We could really delineate, and we could really make things happen. We could really get ourselves on the census so that we're counted separate from everybody else. And then we can use that lineage and get the professional people, right, to have what they got to have to show that we're trying to get our reparations. So he said FBA is anti-Africa. No, FBA not anti-Africa. FBA is pro-FBA. And there's no such thing as Africa. You understand? Well, one thing about it, we don't really need you. You know, we don't need you. We don't care what you're going to do. You might be a Russian or anything. What's that? Prove me wrong. We don't need you, bro. We don't need you. We don't need you. You're irrelevant. Your name is Prove Me Wrong, sucker. You're not even a man. You don't even have you're not even a real man to come over here and be a real person. Why would I waste my time? You know what I'm saying? You're over here with a fake name. You might be a Russian, a Chinese, or anything. We don't know who you are. Don't y'all see where Elon Musk made it where you can go and see who's on X? And have y'all noticed that a lot of them people on X doing what Prove Me Wrong doing ain't even Black? That they all kind of whites and stuff, pretending they Black, getting in our business. So now you can go on X and there's a button you could push. It's this one lady, she was white, and she was making all of these videos about how Black women and Black men don't get along. And she was pretending she was a Black woman. She's a white lady. People like Prove Me Wrong, sucker. Be agents. Agents of confusion. Ain't even standing on who he is. Why would I listen to you? You ain't you know what I'm saying? Why would I listen to you? He want me with my real face to argue with somebody with a fake name. See what I'm saying? Talking about what he ain't gonna do. You're not even a real person. You ain't gonna do nothing. We already know you ain't gonna do nothing but troll. We already know. Why you telling me you ain't gonna? We don't need you. And you're not gonna get in our way in real life. You're only gonna get on our way on this internet. You're not gonna come outside and get in my way. That's for all y'all that's hating over here. You're not gonna get in my way in real life. So get off the internet playing around. You're not doing none of that in real life. So just stop. In real life, you're going to grin it off, and kiki it off. And in real life, I'm going to be still just like this. Standing on your neck. So get off the internet hating on us. And everybody want to hate. And they're only hating because nobody wants to see you accomplish nothing. They got really no reason to hate FBA. And as far as FBA hating Africa Africans have been egregious with that. It's been Africans and Jamaicans and people from the Caribbean attacking us. They've been doing it for years. As a young Rasta, you know, I'm in this thinking we Rasta brethren, and dude calling me a Yankee. I'm like, what the hell is a Yankee? What have I done to this Jamaican dude, this Jamaican Rasta, for him to call me a Yankee? That means he got hate in his heart, but he pretended he represented black unity. But the whole time, he don't represent Rasta. He don't represent Africa for the Africans. He's a hater. And as far as us hating Africans, Africans hate Africans. Africans are warm with Africans. Africans are tribal against Africans. They just grabbed another 300 children in Nigeria. Africans grabbed them children. Africans under Islam just grabbed 300 children in Nigeria again. It happened a few years ago and they kidnapped them again. So how are you going to say FBA hate Africans when Africans is the ones over there unaliving Africans? We ain't over there unaliving Africans. Who's unaliving Africans? See, this is the phony stuff. You can line Smalls, Sarasuns, all of I lay them all down with the knowledge. All of them. As soon as I say that, they debate is over. Because you don't see them saying nothing about Africans kidnapping African children. You don't see Pan-Africans putting no pressure on Africa. You don't see them standing on Africa. They liars. I was in the whole roster Pan-African black. It's all fraud. The brothers in that ain't really that. It's like something to be seen, like to join something. But as far as actually standing on liberation, they ain't standing on that. They ain't standing on no real liberation. Y'all really believe Sarah Soon said he's standing on liberation? He ain't standing on nothing. He on YouTube gossiping, trying to make some money. He ain't standing on nothing. He talking about something Egyptians did 4,000 years ago. How's that Pan-Africanism? You talk about some old Osiris and Amen-Ra. That's why I stopped dealing with that stuff when I seen it was fraudulent. When I seen the brothers wasn't really that. A lot of times, Hebrew Israelites, people in the Nation of Islam, Pan-Africans, stuff like that, they be losers. They don't be like me. I could make it in society. I just wanted to be conscious. But a lot of conscious offshoot brothers, they be loose. They can't make it in society. So when they can't make it in society, they become Muslims. They become Hebrews. They become Pan-Africans. Because they can't make it in the regular, they can't compete in the real society. A lot of you young brothers, you're going to remember what I just told you. Watch. A lot of y'all around people like that right now, 10 years from now, you're going to say, Pharaoh told me this. You're going to peep it one day. You're going to peep it. You're going to find out, oh, these dudes is losers. These chicks is losers. And they using this alternative knowledge to hide the fact they can't compete in society. That's what be going on. So if you one of the ones can compete and you get into one of these offshoot cultures and you get around them, you don't match because you can compete. And when you get with them, you think they're going to compete and they not. they can't compete in the real world. It's like they teach you this in psychology. Like when the fox couldn't get the grapes off the tree, he said, oh, they probably sour anyway. So a lot of these religious dudes and women that get in these religions and be fanatical in these religions, be fanatical in these Pan-African concepts, be fanatical in the Islam stuff, those be losers. They can't function in the world and accomplish nothing. So they go and they get in these offshoot belief systems where they can hide. They ain't got to accomplish nothing. And then they could just complain a white man keeping them down. It's the white man. You said, I just started talking delineation. Yeah, I just started talking delineation over the last 2 years. I changed my concept. But I've been seeing Rastas wasn't standing on nothing. I'm riding with the new concept. We didn't have this concept. Now, if you want knowledge, I give you knowledge, Tay. The reason FBA and stuff is happening because of the internet. We never could build a movement like this because we didn't have the internet. This is over your head. But I'm going to talk to you anyway, even though you don't deserve me to teach you nothing. One reason FBA is taking over because of the internet. We never had the internet before. So we never could, in my life, I never could, like you never could have talked to me. Now tell me I'm lying, Tay. I'm in Chicago. Could you have ever talked to me before the internet, before YouTube? Yes or no? Could you have ever talked to me before YouTube? Tay, yes or no? Could we ever communicated all over the world and the country before YouTube and live stream? Yes or no? I'm going to give you a chance, Tay. I'm going to see if you're real or you're fake. Because if you're real, you'll engage in this conversation. Because you're talking to me now, Tay. Could you ever had done that before I got on live stream? Exactly. So now we building new philosophies based on our ability to contact each other. We've never had the ability to talk about reparations, to build a movement. Mind you, I ain't no Rasta. I'm a comedic Rasta, too. Mind another thing, I'm not from the Caribbean, I'm from Chicago. So you should know off the top, I'm a different Rasta. The third thing is you don't know what a Rasta is, because there's other principles to Rasta. Yeah, if we had the internet, we would have had a lot of stuff popping. But we had the internet. I got on the internet because I'm in the music business. And I had to promote. So we was going on forums, and then I was getting on MySpace. And went from MySpace to Facebook and Twitter, and then Instagram to promote. I got on here to promote music. So this is the thing, Tay. Check out what you said. You say, you started out talking about the lineage the last year or so. Been playing Rasta. No, I wasn't ever playing Rasta. I'm Rasta. But the brethren never stepped up. The Rasta movement didn't step up. I wasn't playing Rasta. I still got my dreadlocks. I still ITAL. Do you know the principles of Rasta? Because I still got my dreadlock. is still Haile Selassie, King of Kings, conquering land of the tribe of Judah. I'm still Ital is Vital. I'm still Ganja for the healing of the nation. You don't know what Rasta is, bro. Rasta is not contradictory to reparations. Christianity is not contradictory to reparations. You can be a Christian and be a foundational Black American. So you don't know what foundational Black American is. That's lineage. That's not the same as ideology. You can be a foundational Black American Rasta, bro. You can be a foundational Black American Rasta. Just like you can be a Jamaican Rasta. Just like you can be a Nigerian Rasta. So you don't know what FBA is. FBA is just lineage, bro. That got nothing to do with me being Rasta. FBA just mean my lineage traced back here in the United States. You think, Tay, see, this is what I'm saying. A lot of the brothers don't know what FBA is. They think FBA is a belief. FBA is lineage. FBA is lineage, Tay. FBA is not a belief system. An Ethiopian Rasta is an Ethiopian Rasta. A Jamaican Rasta is a Jamaican Rasta. You can't say because they're Jamaican, they can't be a Rasta. Being a Jamaican is like being FBA, bro. So see, we got people in talking about FBA that don't know what FBA is. They think it's a belief system. Tay, FBA is not a belief system. Now, I can't say, he probably don't know. I ain't going to hate on Tay like that. He might not know. This is my opportunity to teach the brother. Because he think Rasta and FBA is two different things. They not, bro. Just because I'm FBA don't mean I'm not a vegan, right? I'm still a vegan. So imagine me saying I'm a vegan and you say, so now you FBA? I thought you was a vegan. Like, bro, that's what that sounds like. Just because you're foundational Black American don't mean you still ain't a Christian, bro. Don't mean you still ain't a Muslim. Don't mean you're not a Rasta. Those ain't, it's not either or. So you're talking as if you change, bro. You don't change. FBA is not contrary to being a Rasta, bro. FBA is not anti-African. FBA is lineage, bro. How many times Tariq and them got to keep telling y'all? It's the Africans hating on the fact that we delineating. It's not us. It's the Africans that never accepted us as Africans, but mad that we FBA. Make that make some sense. You never took us in as Africans. You never accepted us as Africans. But when we say we foundational Black America, you mad? What difference do it make to you? Besides, we've been here so long, we don't know what kind of African we are. We don't know. I don't know what kind of African I am. He not slow. Nobody taught him, bro. He not slow. Tay not slow. He don't know. The fact he don't know mean we ain't been doing a good job. Tyreek is out there battling with the tethers. The rest of us got to back him up and teach the information and let him battle with the tethers. And it's not enough of us teaching the information. Everybody want to battle with the tethers. Let Tyreek do that. And the rest of us, let's teach them what it really means. As far as me identifying as foundational Black American, that's also false, Tay. That's false. Brother. That's false, bro. Let me show you something, Tay. Let me show you something, bro. But FBA ain't nothing different. Roster and FBA ain't in the same category, bro. It's not either or. It's not either or, bro. And so this is the hard work we got to let everybody know this, because they think it's either or, right? Now, FBA is the lineage, right? And in the lineage, right, we pushing for reparation. Now, ask Tay something. Have I just started pushing for reparations? I've been pushing for reparations in 1978. It's just there was nobody to push it to. There was nowhere to push it. But we've been pushing reparations. I've been pushing reparations for almost 50 years. Rasta say what, Tay? Reparations, repatriation, and rehabilitation. Marcus Garvey pushed reparations, bro. Rasta push reparations, bro. A part of Rasta philosophy is reparations, bro. Reparations, rehabilitation, and repatriation. That's Rasta consciousness. Yes, Rastas push reparations, bro. You don't know what a Rasta is, certified. Why are you talking on something you don't know what it is? You don't know what a Rasta is. Come back tomorrow. He said real Rastas. No such thing, bro. You don't know what a Rasta is, bro. There's a million Rastas in South Africa. There's Rastas in England, bro. There's Rastas in Europe. There's Rastas all over the world. What are you talking about? There's too many people that don't listen, don't know much. And when they get an opportunity to learn something, they don't want to learn. They get on the internet clowning around. And it's not the place to clown around. If you want to learn something, you want to learn something. Over here, it's like this. If you don't want to learn, I don't care. Get the hell on. And believe what you want to believe. Because what you eat don't make me boo-boo. So I really don't care what you believe, but I have a responsibility to try to tell you what's up. But if you don't know what's up and you wrong, you the fool, and now you got to wait for years before you find out you didn't know what you was talking about. when you talk about real rosters, there's no such thing as real rosters because you can only be real in your heart. So you don't know who's a real Christian. You don't know who's a real Muslim. So there, you can't say no real rosters because you don't know a man's heart. So the concept of a real Christian, how you know who's a real Christian? How you know who's a real Muslim? Because they the only ones know if they're real or not. You can't look at a man and say if he's real or not. You can't look, I can't look at a brother and say he a real roster or he not. I can't see in that man's heart. You can see in people's hearts, the five. You can tell who's real and who's not. Y'all stop saying stuff that's not right and exact. When it comes to a belief system, only the people know if they're real or not. But we live in a system where if you tell me a roster, it's not for me to doubt you. It's not for you to doubt a brother when he say he a Christian. If he say a Christian, then you accept it. It's not for me to say, you ain't no real Christian. Some of the stuff y'all be saying, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You should know better. You can't judge other people if they real or not. Because you could be real and make a mistake. You could be a Christian and make a mistake and sin. That don't mean you wasn't a real Christian. It just means you made a mistake. So listen, let's have some intelligence conversations. There is no they, Breezy. Who is they? You know, there is no they. Who is they, bro? Okay, I got to get rid of some of this false information. I got to get rid of some of this because I got people over here talking, don't know what the hell they're talking about. Who is they? Who is they? These are young people. They're just saying anything. They're just saying anything. Whatever you are, you with yourself. You ain't there because somebody else. You ain't no good husband because somebody else. You're a good husband because you was a good husband and you know you're a good husband. You're not a good husband. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. Stop making statements over here that's not factual. I'm not going to let y'all just come over here and make any of your weirdo ideologies. Keep y'all ideologies to yourself. Don't come over here spewing a bunch of stuff and you really don't know what you're talking about, okay? Let's take a break. Y'all got to stop spewing all this stuff and you don't know what you're talking about. Stop. And so you see why it's so hard for us to get reparations or get anything, because we got a lot of young brothers and they not really learn it. They like to blurt out. They don't listen well. So it's hard to build anything with that type of army. There's no order, a lot of misinformation. A lot of people just want to be seen and just typing anything. And you just do more damage to your people than anything. Imagine you have children and you silly like that, and you just type anything and disinformation. How you gonna raise a son? How you gonna raise your sons and daughters to be intelligent when you just type, get in the chat and just type all type of unintelligent information? How you gonna be the leader of your family, black man, when you like that? And your sons and daughters hear you repeat that, and now you done fed them wrong information, send them out in the world with wrong information. When you don't know something, find out about it before you just speak on it. Y'all got to do better. But the point I'm over here to make is that all of a sudden, when we trying to get something, look how many black men is full of distractions and nonsense. You see it tonight. We really trying to get something for our people. And look how many black men is embarrassing us. Making us look unintelligent in front of all these people. It's embarrassing. And jump back and forth from chat to chat and say, 1 minute you act like a fool, the next minute you talk about don't nobody want to help black people. But the whole time you a saboteur, you can't listen well, you say all kind of negative stuff, you don't know none of the information, you don't want to learn nothing. When somebody trying to teach you something, you talk over them knowing you don't know nothing. And you just ruin everybody else from learning anything. You know, some of you brothers that I had to straighten out, y'all should be ashamed of yourself coming in front of these other brothers and sisters, ruining their vibration and them learning something because you don't want to learn nothing. You know, if you don't want to learn nothing, get off social media and go sit down somewhere. Definitely don't come over here. If you don't want to learn nothing, if you ain't got trying to be intelligent, don't come over here. Go to the county jail or catch me outside if you want to be on dummy. Stop getting on social media. Catch me outside. That's what we do that at. You want to be on dummy? You want to talk crazy? Let's not do it in here in front of everybody. Catch me outside in dummy land and play like that. Stop playing on this social media. Go outside, play like that. Go down to the county jail. Go on. This is why our neighborhood got so much violence. Because the young black man play too much and they don't get along. This is why you young brothers don't get along. This is why the violence is up. You understand? This is why the violence is up. Because you young brothers, you'll never be able to get along with each other. You can't even have an intelligent conversation. That's why we can't have no parties or nothing. Y'all gonna get to fighting. Because you don't have that kingliness in you. You don't move like a king. And even your leaders don't. Because if I'm a Pan-African, and some brothers over here say, we're not dealing with Africa, we're gonna be foundational Black Americans, we want reparations. There's no reason for me to go over there and worry about that. There's no reason for me to speak on that. I could just keep doing what I'm doing and let the brothers and sisters do what they're doing. There's no need for me to get all out my body because somebody doing something different than what I'm doing. I could just build what I'm doing, and you could just build what you're doing. There's no need for you to come all the way on the internet disrespecting Black Americans. You way in Africa. And then you want to get on the internet because we decide we want to do our lineage and we decide we foundational Black Americans now. You're in Africa, mind your African business. With all the problems Africans got in Africa, all you Africans that's arguing over FBA should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all a disgrace to the continent. You're a total disgrace. You got real big, serious problems. Real problems in Africa. And you wasting your energy trying to beef with foundational Black Americans that you never really dealt with anyway. The Africans are phony anyway because you never dealt with us. So what difference do it make to you if we want to be identified as something? Africa, you had enough time to reach for us and set us up. So you brothers and sisters in Africa that don't like FBA, shut y'all asses up. Because you brothers and sisters in Africa, y'all the weakest one because it's 900 million of y'all. Why y'all ain't accomplishing nothing? It's only 50 million of us. It's 900 million of y'all. What y'all got for Black people internationally? What the Africans got? You the big homies. But this ain't about hating on Africans. This is about reparations. This is about reparations from the system. Much respect, Brother Jordan. Y'all donate to the channel. This is not about beefing with the Africans. This is about dealing with these companies that owe us for reparations. All this money. America got rich by having free labor. How you in Africa and don't want to admit that America got rich from free labor? How you in the Caribbean and don't want to admit that they got rich from free labor when they did you the same way in the Caribbean and they doing you the same way right now in Africa? They still got Africans in slavery in Africa. They picking cotton. Well, they was picking cotton in Burkina. He might have cleaned that up. But women was in Burkina picking cotton with their babies on their backs. So how you don't support our effort to get reparations? And if you're a Black man from America and you don't support FBA and reparations, now let me tell you something. You a disgrace. You a disgrace. If that ain't the top of your agenda, you a disgrace. For real. And if your children grow up and they have to push reparations and they find out their daddy and their mama was losers like that and left a war for them to have to come and do something that you should have did, they gonna look at you crazy. Because with these babies, This should be already be taken care of for these babies. These babies shouldn't have to keep fighting this fight no more. And for y'all that's pushing it, stop talking to brothers that ain't with it. Ostracize them. Man, don't be giving them no energy. Let's focus on what we got to do. If I was out in the world and you walked up to me and you didn't support reparations, I'd walk off. And I would never speak to you again. You don't exist to me. I wouldn't waste 2 pennies with you. I would look at you as a total disgrace. If you're not supporting reparations and you black anywhere on this planet, you are a total disgrace. Total. Pharaoh telling you. If you're a black man and you pushing if you're a black man born in America, and your mom and daddy born in America, and your grandmama and granddaddy, and your relatives picked this cotton, and you pushing revolutionary and Kemet and all that over reparation, like Pharaoh El-Aton said, he's a disgrace to his family. He's a total disgrace. Because his great-grandmama and them, they wasn't in Kemet. They was down south, picking cotton and getting abused. And he talking about some Imhotep and somebody 2,000 years ago, before he standing on business with his own family, what they did to his direct descendants. He's a disgrace. I tell him to his face, he won't do nothing. But take that. We gonna see. I'll bump into you. We gonna see all the rare. And we gonna see. Well, you gonna learn. Boy, listen. You know where I'm born. You know how I get out. You know where I'm at. You know how we get out. I'm just not gang banging. But I got the same mentality, though. These shorties don't play with me out here. Y'all think these shorties play with me in Chicago? I'm just asking. Y'all think these shorties play with me out here? When I go to these clubs and I go and they be performing in there, when I go around these young rappers, the YNs, y'all think they play with me? Who think they play with me? Let's just start right there. Like, know who you playing with. You know, it's YouTube. I can't tell you everything, but don't get it twisted. I'm really him. And how can I teach them something when y'all brothers got a little knowledge? I can't teach y'all nothing. So you know I can't teach these GDs and BDs and stuff. I'm trying to teach them. This supposed to be going, we supposed to be already have you internet brothers on lock, and we supposed to be outside teaching this to the gangs and stuff. But we got to spend 15,000 years teaching y'all internets. It don't make no sense. And if you're a grown black man, get off the internet playing and trolling. If you're a grown black man in 2025, 2026, get off this internet playing, because this is serious times right now. You're going to mess around, wake your ass up in a concentration camp. Keep playing. Keep on thinking everything funny. You young brothers better start getting serious and stop playing. And better use this internet for some boss stuff and boss up. All that trolling and playing on this internet, You a disgrace to your race. Anybody come over here playing with me, weirdo kind, you a disgrace. You a disgrace to your family. You a disgrace to your sons and daughters. You're a disgrace to everybody. Look, this man's a disgrace. With everything going on with black people around the world, they kidnapped 300 children in Nigeria. He talking about Afro beats. A grown-ass man. With all the serious things going on in Africa, this man want to argue about Afro beats. Look at him. A grown man. With all the things going on in the motherland, in America, in England with black people, this man want to debate Afro beats. That's what's important to him. And this somebody daddy too. This what he want to debate. Which music is the hottest? While Africans is getting on boats and drowning, trying to get to Europe. He talk about Afro beats is the hottest music. And look, in Africa, and look, in late November 2025, armed bandits kidnapped more than 300 children and 12 teachers from St. Mary's Catholic School and Papiri village of Nigeria State, Nigeria, while around 50 of the hostages have been since escaped. Over 250 remain in captivity. So let me get this straight. They done kidnapped brothers and sisters in Nigeria. And this grown man, he won't talk about Afro beats. He won't say Afro beats doing better than y'all music. What y'all think about that? See what I'm talking about? He know everything in Africa about Afro beats, but he don't know nothing about people's lives in danger over there that live up there under the Sahel and what's going on. He don't know nothing about all these atrocities just happened in Somalia. All these atrocities just happened in the Sudan. All them people just passed away in the Congo where all that stuff fell on them with that man. He don't want to talk about that. He want to talk about Afro beats. You know how many Africans just lost their life in the last 3 weeks? This is what I say about a disgrace. A disgrace. An actual disgrace. A grown-ass man. Gray hair. I ain't going to delete it because I want everybody to see it. You see what I'm talking about? What do you want me to say, y'all? No, man, I'm usually better than Afro beats. That way, hold on. That man want me to argue over which music is the best. With all we got going on right now in the world. With all we got going on in the world. With HIV spreading and all type of stuff. He want to argue about Afro beats. He gonna show me. I'll show you. Afro beat better than y'all music. Bro, congratulations. How would Afro beat? Listen, let me show how stupid people be. It's 50 million Black Americans, right? There's 900 million Africans, 980 million Black Africans, only 50 million Black Americans. Who would be surprised that they're not selling more Afro beats when they almost got 100 million people? We only got 50 million. Who believes that us 50 million can sell as much records as 100 million? Just let that sink in. Africa got 980 million people. We only got 50 million people. He want to compare the amount of people out of almost 100 billion that's listening to the music to our 50 million. Like we really supposed to think we could sell as many music as somebody got 100 million fans, 100 million people, and we only got 50 million. No, 900. They almost got a billion. They got 980 million. We got 50 million. If you subtract us from there, they got 930 million more people than us. And he bragging because 930 million more people than us buying some music and acting as if we could compete. A grown man, I'm 67 years old. He got gray hair. He a grown man, and he want to argue about who sell the most music. That's super important, ain't it? Now that's really something to debate, ain't it? And he act like y'all losing. In his mind, we losing because 1 billion Africans buy music and it's only 50 million of us. You can't make this stuff up. Our people is in a big mess. A big mess. Especially if that's an older person. That's an older person too. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do. But this one I'm telling you, and all this is because we trying to get reparations. Like like I'm a hate on the success of brothers in Africa selling music. Why would I hate on that? Why would that be a problem? You understand what I'm saying? Why would that be a problem that the brothers is selling their music? Just for your mind to think that would be a problem to me is just really deep. Just the fact that you think that's a problem is deep. I kid you not. Man, listen. We in a bad situation. We in a bad situation. And there's some brothers that would have argued with him over that. They would have, you know what I'm saying? Some people would argue with him over that. But we, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he thought I was one of them. That's what pissed me off. He thought, I don't know, what do we think I am? He thought I would take up that argument. I tell you, man. He thought I would take up that argument. He really believed that means something to me. We got to do better. We got to do better. Because at this rate, we are not going to be able to compete with the rest of the world. Do you know how other people would look at us if they seen that comment? They would look at us like we crazy. Like, what's wrong with us? And all we try to do is get reparations. And our brothers and sisters around the world, they hate us that much, even though we're not in their lives at all. It's just amazing to see they don't support us. You know what I'm saying? How do you not support your brothers and sisters in another country that's trying to get something for the abuses that happen to them? Like, make it make some sense. You know, it's kind of crazy, but at least it teach some of you younger people, y'all see that, and y'all will be like, oh, okay, I see what Pharaoh's saying. This is silly. It's straight silly. We just trying to get reparations, man. And it ain't make no sense for Africans to be talking on our situation. They didn't come save us. What can they say? They didn't step up to help us. They just came over to eat. They ain't even had the decency enough to come over and be brotherly and sisterly. Not all of them. It's some cool Africans. But a lot of the cool Africans can't afford to come. You know, there's some cool Africans, but they couldn't afford to come. They ain't had the money to come like that. I don't, Baby Got Back Barbecue. Of course, your name is Baby Got Back Barbecue. Why would I expect you to think anything intelligent? Why would I even pay attention to anything you think? Who would listen to you? That's the question. Why would we listen to you? Your name Baby Got Back Barbecue. Of course you don't understand. You don't even know how to take care of your health. So I know you don't know nothing about no economics. And you believe because you will jack off your money, you believe everybody's like you. You can't speak for everybody that everybody gonna mess their money up just because you gonna mess yours up. Just say you weak and you don't support the movement. You don't gotta say all that. Just say you's a sellout, you's a traitor, and you don't ride with your people. Just say that. Say, I don't ride with my people. I'm a traitor. And I'm only going to step up for reparations when y'all get it. Because one thing for sure, Baby Got Back. If you're a foundational Black American and we do the work and get it, people like you will be the first one trying to get in line. And you are alive, you say you won't. The only reason you ain't pushing reparations because you don't believe we'll get it. But if you thought we was going to get reparations, you will be the first one in line. This is how it always is in the Black community. People like that, they don't support nothing you do. You go do it by yourself and you make it. And they say, you changed, man. You ain't even help a brother out. He'd be the first one trying to get reparations. And while we listen to somebody that's probably Black on here disrespecting us, calling yourself Baby Got Back Barbecue where you got no self-esteem, no, I hope you ain't got no children. Because who needs you to be a daddy or a mommy? Nobody want to care about what you feel. Come back tomorrow. We don't want to hear from you. We've heard enough, bro. Yeah, we've heard enough. I heard enough. I get it. You ain't with it. You ain't standing up like the rest of us. I get it. I get it. But we got it's 980 million Africans, almost a billion in Africa. And this dude trying to compare Afrobeat to our music. Why don't he compare this? What about this? What about this comparison? Because there's 1.7, 1.8 Black millionaires in America. And it's only 122,000 Black millionaires in Africa. And y'all got 1.4 billion people. And it's only 17 million. Why you don't compare that? Why Afro beats ain't getting y'all money up like our money? How you want to compete with us when you losing and we only got 50 million? And we got 1.7 and 1.8. Look how many millionaires we got. We got almost 2 million millionaires. And as big as Africa is, You only got 122,000 millionaires, but you want to compare Afrobeats. See what I'm talking about, black people? I didn't want to do him like this, but he kept going to play. So y'all need to sell a lot more Afrobeats, bro, and get y'all money up, get y'all bag up. Yeah, you going because you got to sell a lot more Afrobeat. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't looking good. And check this out. Which place got this a whole continent and this just a country. And we got more millionaires over here than the whole continent. On top of that, who got all the gold and diamonds and natural resources? We don't. So how we got more millionaires than them and they got all the diamonds and gold because other people taking it, they not getting nothing. Europeans and Asians and Russians and Chinese and the American government is taking all their stuff. The Jewish people taking all their stuff. Because the brother too busy competing with us. But we ain't the ones over there robbing them blind. We ain't the ones robbing you. Okay, that's a checkmate. That's a checkmate on the Afro beats. I think the Afro beats just took an L. It looked like you getting Afro beat out your money. You get Afro beat out your gold. Afro beat out your oil. Afro beat out your natural resources. You got Afro beats, all right. You getting beat out. You're getting beat out of all your natural resources. You're over there poor. You got all the chocolate, but the Dutch making all the money. Hershey and Nestle making trillions off of chocolate. But Ghana got all the chocolate and they broke, barely got money for gas. Why? Because the brother want to come over here and argue with us. Africans is arguing with us while other people is robbing them. My brothers and sisters from Africa, focus on who's robbing you. Foundational Black America is not robbing you. We're not the ones robbing you. So my brothers and sisters over there, focus. Focus on what y'all need to do over there to get control of y'all natural resources and stay out our business until y'all get y'all business together. You feel me? Because y'all ain't got y'all shit together over there. Y'all try to get over here. But to my brothers and sisters in Africa, listen, get off the internet antagonizing foundational Black American and then sending your family over here. Duh. Imagine me antagonizing you brothers and sisters in Africa with foundational Black Americans in Africa. Ain't I putting them in danger? To my brothers and sisters in Africa, I'm giving y'all knowledge. Stop beefing with foundational Black American while you got these Africans over here outnumbered in cities that got gang cultures. What's going to happen when these shorties in the gang culture start hating Africans? Y'all stop, man. That's treason. Stop putting your people in danger over here. Duh. What, you gonna keep disrespecting Black Americans on the internet with all these Africans over here that's sitting ducks? Y'all bogus. Stop doing that. You're just putting brothers and sisters in danger. You over there Nigerian talking crazy and Nigerians over here. That don't make no sense. Stop doing that. Y'all supposed to be the big brother and big sister. I expect Africa to get it together first, not Black Americans. Why you want the 50 million to get in order, but not the billion? Man, let me tell you something. I don't want nobody to get touched. I'm giving them game. You understand? I'm telling them the facts. I'm one of the few people talking this. And I'm getting all kind of pushback over here. I say some deep stuff instead of everybody saying, yeah, you're saying all type of weirdo stuff. But where you live at? Let me ask y'all something. Do you think it's cool for shorties in Chicago to start hating Africans? Look, let's pick 43rd. Let's pick O Block. It's O Block. The shorties in the crib, they BDs. Shorty in there with his homies, they BDs, they playing the game. His mama there on the internet. His mama get mad because some Africans disrespecting her. And Shorty hear that. Let me tell you something. I was living on 31st Street. I walked out my building. It was an African brother there disrespecting two elderly foundational Black American women. The brother was so busy calling them names, I was able to walk right past him and walk up behind him. So he looking this way, talking to him. I'm standing behind him like this. I showed him love. I tapped him. I said, bro, this is a fact. Don't do that. You're going to get hurt, bro. Now, what if that was my mama or my grandmama? He said, you're right, my brother. I mean, I want to hear that, my right, bro. I'm trying to help you. Bruh, stop doing that. Don't jump when I touch you from the back. See what I'm saying? He got so sloppy, he forgot he was on the south side of Chicago. Boy, this ain't Africa, boy. Now, how long you think that behavior happened before it pop off? It won't be safe to be in America if y'all Africans don't stop. 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 Because we don't care nothing about Africa. We'll just leave. Ain't no money over there. And you don't have to leave. Your family that's making all that money and sending it back will have to leave here if y'all don't stop. It's gonna go bad. Stop. I gave that man a pass. I gave that man a pass. I scared the hell out of him. He was so busy talking crazy to these elderly women, he let me walk right past him and turn around and walk right up behind him. I touched him in the back like this. He, I don't know, but because he a Black brother, see what I'm saying? I still respected him as a Black brother. I told him, bro, don't do that. I felt more sorry for him than the ladies. I didn't like the way he did the ladies, but I understood he putting his life in danger. Anytime you let me walk right up behind you and you don't know who I am. You understand? I told him, bro, don't do that. If he keep on doing it, he gonna learn what I told him. He gonna get hurt. Now he gonna get hurt. He gonna Heard all the I got a couple of brethren here got African shops. He gonna put them out of business. Because if it hit the media and something happened bad, hit the news, Africa's gonna be out of business. In Chicago. Just like that. We acting a fool. Ain't got no respect for his own brothers and sisters. Talking crazy to some old ladies, man. They were some old ladies. I said, man, all I kept thinking is, bro, you lucky, really. He's lucky. Because we be on dummy. Anybody know how the city go? Y'all know how that go, right? Y'all know how that would have went, how that could have went. I could have just said, why you talk crazy to my grandmama? Y'all know how the hood be. I would just make up a beef. Why you out here talking crazy to my grandmother? Oh, I don't know. It is my grandma. What you mean you don't know? You know what I'm saying? Or I could have followed him and got on the phone and told the guys, I'm following this cab. He had it here. Meet me at so-and-so. I'm going to keep you updated. I'm going to tell him. I could have tailed him. He don't know nothing about this gangster shit in Chicago. I could have called some of the guys, jumped in my car, and stayed on his tail and kept up with his low. And I could have dropped his low. And all he would have seen was ski mask. Because they going to go. They going to go. They ain't going to ask no questions in Chicago. They going to go. All they know is Roski said go. And they going to go. They're going to be like, Rose said go. What'd he do? I don't know, man, but he said go. They going to go. They just going to go. They going to ask questions later. Whatever they get off of them, they can keep. Or teach them a lesson. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time, me and my wife at the time, we was coming from downtown somewhere, and I had like some Somalian or something driving me, and she had to tell me leave him alone. Cause I ain't like his attitude. I don't be answering stupid stuff, bro. Ask me something intelligent, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so we gotta do something about this situation. And what y'all gotta do is stay focused on reparation. And don't let these people keep sending us off and just build our team and cut people off. It's time to just start kicking them out the chat and blocking them on your social media. That's what time it is. Because as long as you let them come on your stuff, they're going to keep trolling. The only way they're going to respect you is if you kick them out. That's when they want to change, when you don't want to talk to them no more. This is how people are. When you don't want to talk to them no more, they can't say nothing to you. You unfollow them, you block them, you unsubscribe to them. That's when they'll say, okay, they serious. They don't even want to talk to us no more. Period. That's when they'll start playing. That's when they'll say, this is serious. They ain't gonna think it's serious. I start walking up on Africans outside. I said, "What you think about FBA and reparations? You support FBA and reparations?" Yes, my brother. Yeah, you better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do I gotta go like that? I'm just saying. I shouldn't have to go like that, but it can go like that. So just block them. That's Foundation of Black Americans is calling ICE on Black immigrants. Foundation of Black Americans is going to be calling ICE on them Haitians and stuff. They want them out of here. They lost it. We basically enemies now. That's a fact. I don't know. I tried, but I ain't got no way to reach all the Africans in Caribbean, so I couldn't save them. I couldn't tell them. I couldn't tell them, and they hate it really right now. You know, a lot of people don't know how big FBA is. They don't know about movements in America. See, something like FBA, it's not going to peak until like 2027. It's just at the baby stage, but they don't know nothing about America. Like, that's going to be big. They don't know because they don't know how movements grow here. But FBA is going to be huge. It's going to be real huge. And it's like, man, the brothers and stuff, man, I don't know. They don't got no leadership. Like the Black immigrants, they ain't got no leadership. Because their leadership should have told them, listen, don't come over here hating on the Black Americans. Shut up. And so now we got foundational Black American brothers that want to be like Pan-Africans, and they going against the gray. They going to get did dirty too. Throw their whole career away going against the grain. It's just people are crazy. Dr. Smalls, he trashed now. Sarah soon said he trashed. They finished. They done. That's not going away. Said he going to have to make a 360 and he going to have to go heavy FBA reparations or he's done. He's done. He's done. I can't believe he that stupid. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to know what side the bread is buttered on. Like, bro, what? He done. Dr. Smalls. I can't believe Dr. Smalls. I can't believe it, man. I said, man, I thought you was smart, bro. Are you crazy? What's really going on? People don't know what it is. They don't know. They don't know how serious it is, Cotton Club. They really don't know how serious it is. If they knew how serious this was, they would not be on the wrong side of history. You could be Pan-African and foundational Black American, but you can't be hating on FBA at all or reparations. And the conflict with Pan-Africanism and FBA is the setting of them is dumb. Pan-Africanism means Africa for the Africans. Well, if you want to go back to Africa, how you going to get your reparations? So those two ideologies conflict unless they're going to make a hybrid. You understand? It's like me being a roster and FBA. I got to be hybrid because roster be teaching Africa for the African, but I'm not teaching that. It's reparations. Now, once you get your reparations, then you take your money and go to Africa. If you smart, like if I want to go to Africa, would I go to Africa and not push for reparations, or would I get my reparations first and then go invest in Africa? Duh, you would get your reparations. Then you would invest in Africa. You wouldn't push Africa over reparations. You push reparations first and get your money they owe you. Then you can invest your money any kind of way you want to invest it. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. The only thing matters, we want our money that they took from our ancestors. And if you're a black man in America and they did your great-great-grandmama wrong and did your great-great-granddaddy wrong, and you ain't standing to avenge them, use a kitty cat, use a lame, use a punk. You are a punk. If you know the history and you know the abuses that your family went through and you don't want reparations, use a punk. If that's not your main goal, to get what they took from your great-great-grandmother and great-great-great-grandmother and great-great-great-grand, you is a punk. Says Pharaoh, a punk. You a punk. Because they was beat down, so they couldn't stand up. You didn't get free till the 70s. My parents couldn't get reparations. They straight from Alabama. I'm the first generation can get it. Y'all the first generation that can get reparations. And I don't think black Americans understand that. Your mamas and daddy couldn't get it. Your grandmamas and granddaddies couldn't get it. We're the first ones that can get it. And a lot of white Americans like, that's a long time ago. Well, this is our first opportunity to get it. Don't try to play no game with me. Just give us our money. So now when you some African or something and you jump in that, you know, you jump in this something you shouldn't jump in. You shouldn't be in that. If you from the Caribbean or something and you jump in reparations, you messing up. You shouldn't jump in that. That's what I would tell my friends. Don't jump in that. Stay out of that. Don't jump in that. Because now you asking for it. See, this is my father's father. He couldn't get it. This is my father's father from Alabama. Answer me a question. How serious am I about getting a retribution and getting what they owe him? Put it in the chat. How serious you think I am about them cheating this man? Every time I look at this picture, what you think I'm thinking? Now, you might be a little B word, so you don't care what they did to your great-granddaddy. You might not be like Big Pharaoh, but when I look at this picture, it looked like he telling me, grandson, go get my money. Don't let them do me like this and get away with it. Now, if you're a black man in America and you let them run over your ancestors and now you're in a position to do something you don't, you're a punk. If Seti not standing on reparations 100%, he's a punk. He's not no general. If that's not his number one priority, to get what they owe, his great-grandmother and his great-great-grandmother, because my grandmother and her brothers went to Detroit from Alabama. And he know damn well them black people in Detroit came up under slavery and Jim Crow. It's not even no joke to me. It's really not no joke to me. Like, it'll get ugly with me over that. You ain't gonna do mine dirty, and then I don't do nothing about it. My mother couldn't even ride on the bus. She couldn't even sit down on the bus. My mother went to school with the girls that got blowed up in the church that they marched on Washington over. My mother went to that church. She knew the girls. The girls that got unalive when they bombed the church in Alabama. Right? My mama went to school with them. That's how serious it is. See, I used to be going to Alabama in the 60s. I'm 67. So I was down there. I seen it all. It was bad. And we just want them to pay us. That's all. You can't, you know what I'm saying? And this is my great-grandmother on my mother's side. This is my mother's grandmother. She born like about 15 years after slavery ended. You feel me? Real talk. Look at the date, 1876, 1993, and I was going down south in the 60s. I know this lady. Imagine everything she went through. You should hear the stories my mother used to tell me what she went through. My mother and father growing up in Alabama. I'm 67. That wasn't a long time ago. My parents caught hell down there. It was horrible. And they still came to Chicago and did the best they could, but they did all kind of redlining and did all type of stuff over here, still tried to keep us down. Still today. But now we're free. We are not under that type of oppression. Yeah, she died at 117. She lived 117. I used to go to her house every year. Every year, my grandfather lived in a farm here, and she lived there, right up the road from her son. They lived. My grandfather lived on a big old farm, and then when you get to the end of the farm and go down a little way, then she was down there in a smaller like place growing food and stuff. And we would go stay there with her, stay at my grandfather's 3-4 days, stay with her 3 or 4 days. This is my mother's grandmother. This is my grandfather on my mother's side. I actually used to hang out with her when I go down there. And I liked going down there because she was close to the store. My grandfather was far from the store, but she was closer this way. You know what I'm saying? And we could walk back and forth to the store. You know, we city kids. We want to go to the store. And I used to sleep at our house, and it's a pan they got under the bed. If you got to pee or whatever, you got to pee in a pan. You can't go outside at night. You can't go to the restroom at night. Once you go in the house, you got to be in once it get dark. It's dangerous. You in, it's wolves and everything, bears. Shoot, you get unalive. You can't go outside at night. So you got to use the bedpan. And then the outhouses. You know, the first time I went, I went in the outhouse. Might be some spider webs. This their bathroom is an outhouse. It's like wood. And I was like, dang. But I got used to it after a while. But I was like, it was spooky going to the outhouse in the daytime. Imagine taking a crap in a wooden toilet outside. She had one and my granddaddy had one. They didn't have no bathrooms. But you can just imagine what they went through. You can imagine the disrespect and the humiliation they went through. Now, if you're going to let them do yours like that and don't demand pay, you's a punk. They gotta give me my people money. Period. I don't want to kick this can down the road for my son. I don't want my sons to have to do this. We need to stand up and do this. We can't just let them get away with that and just punk us like that. And the only way we're going to get our reparations, don't be talking to nobody that ain't standing on that. If they ain't standing on that, stop talking to them. Giving them a bunch of energy. Block them. Get them out of here. All there is distractions. How much time you got to deal with distractions? Yeah, she's saying a lot. That's my mother's side. This is my father's side. This is my father's family up here. This is my grandfather on my father's side. The second row of pictures, the man on the left. This is my grandmother on my father's side, and this is all my father's brothers. My father's the one at the bottom right, Randolph. He the youngest of 13. This is all my uncles. My Uncle Richard, my Uncle Charles, my Uncle Stanley, my Uncle Sidney, my Uncle Oscar, my Uncle Larry, and my Uncle Robert. And these my aunties across the top, my daddy's sisters. This is his family. We getting all our stuff together so we can get our reparation, all our lineage. The second row of pictures to the right, that's my father, my mother, and my sister. I'm not in the picture because I'm a revolutionary and I was in Hawaii in the mountains growing herb. So I wasn't in Chicago for a lot of years. At the top, that's my father's family. Except a couple of them. I think some of them had passed away in the military or something, and some of them had moved, I think. The bottom line is it's not no joke. That's the bottom line. It ain't no joke. You understand? These people went through a lot. My daddy's older brother was the first black principal in Alabama. That's Uncle Richard in the light suit at the bottom, on the bottom left. That's my daddy at the top in the middle. He the baby. He had just got back from the military. The next row under him, the one on the right, that's my Uncle Oscar. And the one on the left, that's my Uncle Sidney. and the one next to my daddy on your right, that's my Uncle Stanley. Them folk came to Chicago. So them folk came to Chicago. My Uncle Oscar bought his wife Aunt Earlie, and my daddy bought my mama with him. And they came to Chicago. And my daddy told me all kind of horror stories. It was bad. I'm the last generation going to be able to tell y'all the direct stories from the people that lived in it. I'm the last generation to talk to them. My father passed away. My mother passed away. There's nobody to tell those stories hardly no more but a few people. The last people to tell them stories was the people born in the 30s and the 40s. They gone. Especially the 30s and the 20s and the 10s, 1910s through the teens, 1920s. Now, I ain't talking about that in my book. My book is just about my story. It don't look like I should get his reparations. I should just let them use my granddaddy and smile it off. Is my relationship between him and what we went through any African's business? Is this a brother from Africa business? The relationship between me and what my grandfather went through here in this country? Did any Africans save us? Did the Africans build any ships or have any diplomatic conversations or anything? No. They waited until our relatives got free and got jobs in the 70s and things opened up, and then they came. They came when everything, the coast was clear. They didn't come when it was smoke. Now, that I ain't blaming them because they probably couldn't come because it was whites only. So they probably couldn't come here in the 60s and in the 50s. They probably wouldn't have let them on no airplane to fly from no Africa and come here. They probably couldn't come. All I'm saying is they supposed to know the history. They supposed to have some love for us, though. You understand? I hear you. You're 100% right. You know what I'm saying? They sure did do Nat Turner like that. You know what it is, the 5-star? You already know how real this is. So I just wanted to push the line and let y'all know that these people that's competing against us, they enemies, especially the black ones. They enemies. Why would you do that to your own brothers and sisters? If black Africans was trying to get reparations from Europe and stuff, I would support it 100 billion%. I wouldn't fight against their brothers and sisters. We supported them against apartheid. It's just black Americans, man, we just be surrounded by haters. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody want to eat off our plate, but nobody want to cook. It's really disheartening. You know what I'm saying? Without us, they wouldn't have let African or Jamaican or nobody over here. The civil rights movement is the only reason Africans and Caribbeans is here. Without the civil rights movement and without people like Rosa Parks being allowed to sit on a bus, what make you think they would let you sit on a plane? And people say, why are you pushing this? Because we waking Africans up. In all fairness, there's a lot of Africans starting to say this. In all fairness, there's more and more Africans saying, I agree with the Black Americans. So we just got to keep pushing the line. They don't know no better. But as they look into it, they're going to be like, they right. Right now, they up there talking the Haitian stuff. Talking about the Haitians did all of this before us. They'll just say anything, man. Now they saying the Haitians did all of this stuff before us. It's just absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that. Hey, I seen one lady talking about the Haitian Revolution. You know, and I'm like, the Haitian Revolution. She talking about the Haitian Revolution is the reason that we stood up. And I'm saying we had revolutions way before Haiti. Exhibit A.
The first recorded revolt in North America was in 1526 in South Carolina, which was over 250 years before the Haitian Revolution. In 1712, the New York City slave revolt was 79 years before the Haitian Revolution. 1739 Stono Rebellion in South Carolina was 52 years before the Haitian Revolution. 1741 The New York Conspiracy Uprising was 34 years before the Haitian Revolution. This is not to take away from Haiti. This is me saying you will not rewrite Black American history. We were fighting well before the Haitian Revolution. We were revolting far before the Haitian Revolution. And I would like to see Haiti free. But you will not determine our freedom based off of Haiti's freedom. You will not determine our fight based off of Haiti's fight. Because we've always fought. We've always been fighters, and we have always fought for our freedom.
100 for real. So anybody want the details, they want the smoke, tell them to put up some money for the debate so they could get 8 like vegan food. I ain't just over here talking. I got my little secret weapons here in case somebody want to debate me so I could take their money. Because I've been doing this a long time. So stand on something, you know, and watch all these people that's trying to compete with us now that we trying to get our reparations. They don't want to help us. They want to compete against us because there's a fear. Nobody wants you doing better than them. But this ain't about doing better than nobody. This is just a debt owed. How you going to hold it against us? Because it's a debt owed. And now because you feel so little and you feel if we get a debt owed, we're going to be doing better than you. So now you own some weakness. Because that's the only reason other blacks don't support reparations, because they don't want us doing better than them. But it ain't even about us doing better than them. And they some lames. Because if they supposed to support reparations so they could get on some of the bread so that we could spend with them. This just show you dudes don't know, brothers don't know how to get no money. I'm going to blame the brothers because they the leaders of the black communities. All the Caribbean brothers and African brothers ain't supporting reparations. They're some nuts. They some lame. They supposed to try to make sure we get it because they could get a bag. You doggone right. You doggone right. Because the French had already got, Napoleon had already got whooped by African sisters. Anyway, in Africa, they kept taking L's. They couldn't fight. They was just trying to cheat with guns. But we don't hate no Haitians. Chicago was founded by Dusable. He was Haitian. His mother was an African slave. His daddy was a European that slept with that black woman and had that boy and took him to Haiti. At Dusable. And when he got old enough, he got his own ship and he came back and he came up to Mississippi. And when he came up to Mississippi and he got to a spot and got off the ship, he met this group of Native Americans and he married one of them. So here is an African, he half African, half white, and he married a Native American. Then he cut across from the Mississippi and ended up in Chicago. That was a trading post. And he set up there, and then Chicago became a big city. But here's the thing. If he set up there, a lot of blacks and Native Americans set up there. So that means downtown was black and Native American, right? How did it turn white? And who really set the Chicago fire? Was it really a white lady's cow that kicked over a lantern and burned down Chicago? Or was it Europeans burned down Chicago to take the land back from the original black settlers? And technically, Dusable would be a foundational black American because he ain't no African because his daddy white, right? His daddy white, his mama's African, and his wife was Native American. So he's really the birth of foundational black Americans. Think about it. If his mama white and his daddy African, that means he half white, half African. If he get with a Native American woman and give her a baby, what is that baby? That baby African, white, and Native American. That baby's a foundational black American. Think about it. He ain't white because he got black blood. He ain't black because he got white blood. He ain't Native American because he got white and black blood and Native American blood. So what would he be? And he founded Chicago. He would be the birth of foundation. He would be one of the people that's the birth of foundational black Americans. Think about it. The question is, was that Native American woman a black Native American? And she probably was. Think about it. That's deep, ain't it? You tell me that ain't deep. Well, that's as deep as it gets. You know what I'm saying? Tell me that ain't deep. That's heavy, ain't it? Boy, tell me that ain't deep. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dusable. You come to Chicago, this is what you're going to see downtown. You're going to see the brother downtown. You feel me? Make sure you come to Chicago, take a picture by the brother. Right there on the beautiful Chicago River. And right in front of him, no, right behind him is the lake. Lake Michigan is behind him. We got a lake and a river. You feel me? Yeah, he's half white. His daddy was a white man. His daddy was a Frenchman. His mama was African. And his daddy took him to France. And when he got grown, he sailed back. You know what I'm saying? He sailed and then he sailed up the Mississippi. He bumped into this Native American tribe. He married one of the women. Then he cut across to Chicago and set up a trading post. And that area became Chicago, the place of some people interpret the place of bad smell because it was a bunch of fish because it's by the lake. So there's always a bunch of fish, a certain type of year, a bunch of fish wash up and it smelled like fish. Hold on, let me get it right. The meaning of Chicago comes from the word Algonquin language. Shikawa, meaning wild onion or striped skunk. The name was originally given to the area because of the abundance of wild onions, leeks, and ramps that grew there. I didn't know that. Somebody told me something different, particularly along the river. Early French explorers adopted this indigenous word into the name Chicago, wild onion. So they told me wrong. I thought they said it was from the fish. According to this, they said it was because of wild onions used to grow here. This is the most widely accepted meaning, as the area was noted for its large wild onion and garlic plants. So we had onion and garlic growing here wild, known botanically as Allium trichocum. Striped skunk, the same Algonquin word, could also mean striped skunk, which is why both meanings are often cited. Some sources also suggest the word was used from the onion because of its pungent smell, similar to a skunk's. French adaptation. French explorers adopted the word leading to smelling like Chicago and eventually the modern Chicago. Name evolution. The name was initially given to the river and the surrounding areas before being officially applied to the city itself. So that's a little history. So stand on reparations. Think about your family, everything they sacrificed, everything they went through, and let's push to get this reparations. And be leery of people that want to argue with you and distract you because you got to push the white system to get the reparations. You understand? You can't be wasting your time arguing with people that ain't got the reparations. That's a trick. They trying to get you to argue with somebody that ain't got nothing to do with it. You feel me? That's a trick. That's a trick. Because they definitely owe us. And we're going to end by showing you who owe us. So let's get into that. This is the people that owe us so that you know to stay focused, all right? It's not no joke. There's people that actually owe us this. Now we're not making nothing up, okay? And these are the people that owe us reparations, all right? Deuces.
13 corporations that profited from slavery. So here we go. Number 1, J.P. Morgan Chase. Between 1831 and 1865, two predecessor banks, Citizens Bank and Canal Bank in Louisiana, accepted approximately 13,000 enslaved individuals as collateral on loans and took ownership of approximately 1,250 of them when the plantation owners defaulted on the loans. Number 2, New York Life. An insurance company sold insurance policies on enslaved Africans. Number 3, Wachovia. Two historical predecessors owned enslaved Africans and accepted them as payment. Number 4, N.M. Rothschild and Sons Bank in London. Nathan Mayer Rothschild, the banking family's 19th century patriarch, made personal gains by using enslaved Africans as collateral in dealings with a slave owner. I have a list of this, so if I stumble, it's because I have a lot of chicken scratch. Number 4, Norfolk Southern offered slaveholders $180. That's $3,379 today. This article was written in 2013. So that's $3,379 today a piece for enslaved Africans they would rent to the railroad for 1 year. The Central Georgia, another company aligned with Norfolk Southern Line today, valued slaves at $31,303. Today that would be $663,033. Did I say that right? Yes. $663,033. Hopefully that came out right. Sounds weird. Number 5, U.S. Today found that their parent company, E.W. Scripps and Gannett, had links to the slave trade. Number 6, Fleet Boston evolved from an early financial institution. Providence Bank founded John Brown, who was a slave trader and owned ships used to transport enslaved Africans. The bank financed Brown's slave voyages and profited from them. Brown even reportedly helped charter what became Brown University. Number 7, CSX used slave labor to construct portions of U.S. rail lines under the political and legal system that was in place more than a century ago. Two enslaved Africans were John Henry and Reuben. The record states they were to be returned clothed when they arrived to work for the company. Number 8, Canadian National Railway Company. The Mobile and Ohio, now part of Canadian National, valued their slaves lost to the war and emancipation at $199,691 on record. That amount is currently worth $2.2 million. Whew. Number 9, Brown Brothers Harriman. The oldest and largest private investment bank, founded 1818, owned hundreds of enslaved Africans and financed the cotton economy by lending millions to Southern planters, merchants, and cotton brokers. Number 10, Brooks Brothers. High-end suit retailer, got their start selling slave clothes to various slave traders in the 1800s. They got their start by selling slave clothes. Number 11, Barclays. British multinational banking and financial services company headquartered in London has now conceded that companies brought over the years may have been involved in the slave trade. Number 12, Lehman Brothers. This business empire started in the slave trade. Quote from Joe Pellizzotto: "This is a sad part of our history or our heritage. We're deeply apologetic. It was a terrible thing. There's no one sitting in the United States in the year 2005, hopefully, who would ever in a million years defend the practice." 13, Aetna. Aetna? Aetna. U.S. largest health insurer, apologized for selling policies in the 1850s that reimbursed slave owners for financial losses when the enslaved Africans they owned died. Aetna has long acknowledged that for several years shortly after its founding in 1853, that the company may have insured the lives of slaves. A few other a few other corporations, companies that profited from slavery: Princeton, Harvard Law School, Tiffany & Co., Bank of America, Yale University, and Wells Fargo.